Hi, everyone. This is Tiffany, your host, owner, and creator of The Mix. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to my channel. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for just your overall support. Okay, I'm going to jump right into it, you guys. Hopefully, I don't miss anything. But as I stated yesterday, I had a difficult time getting my first part post trial motions video uploaded to YouTube. My apologies. When I published it, there's no audio. I just don't know what's up with that. Perhaps the algorithm is not liking it. I don't know. I'm not an expert in technology. I do understand technology, how it works. It's not foreign to me, but this whole YouTube thing is a challenge for me, and it's new. It's new in terms of producing content, editing, and all of that, uploading, and all of that stuff. So my apologies, I couldn't get it out to you, but I'm going to dive right into it. This is about the post trial motions for R. Kelly. So this is a new recorded video, part one. Okay. Like I said, let me get right into it. Did you all know R. Kelly's attorney filed a second post trial motion on February 4th? Yes, second post trial motion on February 4th. Let me just bring it back a little bit, though. Let me bring it back a little bit. So Jennifer Bonjean is R. Kelly's attorney, right? She represented Bill Cosby in his appeals case. She was not on Bill Cosby's original trial case. She represented him at appeal. But Jennifer Bonjean is an attorney. She's a trial attorney and she's an appeals attorney. She does it all. She does it all. Check her credentials and go back to my video on her about who is Jennifer Bonjean, her history, her credentials, her repertoire. Go to her website too, on her law firm's website. She's very passionate about the law, and as I stated before, she's like a pit bull in a skirt, and I say that respectfully. So just check her record, and when it comes to check her career record, and when it comes to the law, and it comes to mitigating and all of that type of stuff, she's very passionate. She seems to be very passionate based off what I've reviewed and read and researched. She's very passionate about about the law, and about her career. She doesn't just take cases just to be taking them. So if Jennifer Rajin takes someone's case, that means she believes that there was an error. She believes that justice was denied for said defendant. And like I said, she's just not blindly taking cases. She has a checklist she goes by to determine if she's going to take the case. So like I said, check out my previous video on her. uh, Go to YouTube, search her, and you'll see for yourself. So all of this is public information, and just thank you guys for tuning in to my commentary. So right, Jennifer Rajin, she assisted Bill Cosby. Not assisted, she was Bill Cosby's appeal attorney, and like I said, I'm bringing this back a little bit, and which his case was overturned by the appeals court in Philadelphia. He was convicted, I believe, 2018 or 2019. In 2021, because of Jennifer Bonjean and her team of people, boom, overturned. So it's like that never existed. And like I said, check her record as in regards to how she goes about selecting cases that she takes. She's very passionate about the law in terms of prosecutors and DAs doing their job correctly and competently, because you're dealing with people's lives. You're dealing with people's lives. This is chess, not checkers. Even if someone, and like I said it before in a previous video, it's not about guilt or innocence. It's about what you can prove. It's just like, and I think I gave this example, and I'm sorry that I'm kind of going off, but those who are new to my channel, I'm just trying to give you just the rundown of where we're at with this, and you can check other videos under The Mix, my channel, on Tory Lanez and Bill Cosby, not Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, and also their attorneys, their background, how it begins. I like to try to go back to the origins, in terms of when we're dealing with cases post trial, like the appeal and the things that's happening after a conviction. So go back to that, and you'll see, you'll hear my audio and my videos on their attorneys, and how to select an attorney and this and that. Okay, so yeah, Jennifer Bonjean, she was on Bill Cosby's appeals team, and okay, so we have this here. Okay, R. Kelly, I believe, and it's based off of what I've kind of been reviewing. Okay, Jennifer Bonjean is did not help R. Kelly, or did not assist, or was not hired to help R. Kelly in his New York racketeering case, which he was convicted on that in 2021. Okay, that was a whole New York, so he's convicted of that. But to my understanding, based off of my research and review, she is also um, leading his appeals team for that. And I'm not sure where they're at with the New York appeals, but to my understanding, based off of the little things that I've came across, it's a strong appeals case for that as well, because there were so many errors made. I even read somewhere or heard something about even jurisdiction comes into play. So, and just the overcharging and all of that. Okay, number two. I do believe, to my understanding, Jennifer Von Jean actually came on board um, for the Chicago federal case last year in 2022 towards the end. And I say this respectfully. And I believe she was called upon. Of course, R. Kelly was trying to get out of prison, period, off of that case, from that particular case. So it's like she just, oh, what a tangle web we weave, So apparently, and I say this respectfully, I guess his team of attorneys couldn't do the job. So Jennifer Bonjean was called to represent or to be added to the team towards the end of the Chicago federal case. Okay, that's number two. And, somebody, I don't know, but I have to do a little bit more digging. Can somebody tell me, with the Chicago federal case from 2022 last year, which he was convicted of 6 counts and six charges of child P. I have to be careful with that, with what I say pertaining to this case because of the algorithm. But nevertheless, I think it was more charges. So I do believe Jennifer Bonjean, and this is just my opinion, I do believe she made an impact. She made an impact coming in, although he was convicted by a jury in a federal case on those 6 counts. But I think it was more. So if you all find out anything different, just comment below as to if there were more charges. And I think it was 12. I think I have to, like I said, do a little bit more digging. So she came into play. So she actually was a part of the, to my understanding, and if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. She came into play towards the end of the Chicago federal case last year, and he was convicted of that. Mr. Kelly was convicted of 6 charges. However, she's going to appeal that, and to my understanding, the appeal is in motion, but it hasn't been like truly officially filed. So if I'm wrong, please correct me. But and to my understanding, you can simultaneously file, start working on an appeal, especially if your client is paying you. um, so the attorney, Jennifer Bonjean, could start working on the appeal. But after the September conviction, um, she actually started filing post-trial motions. So I believe both can be done simultaneously, and both can be true, So the thing is that post-trial motions. So Jennifer Bonjean, according to, let's start off with this post-trial motions. What is a post-trial motion? According to Google, and this is all public information for public consumption, according to Google, post-trial motions are filed after a judge or jury has decided on a verdict. And in this case, the Chicago federal case in September 2022, R. Kelly was convicted by a jury. So in this case, a jury convicted Mr. Kelly. So if you do not agree with the verdict per Google, and who does not agree with the verdict, R. Kelly, Mr. Kelly, and if he thinks that it was impacted by errors or misconduct, remember, errors or misconduct, he has the right to file one of these motions. And I'm going to get into the 2 most common motions. So yes, according to Google, Mr. Kelly has a right to file post-trial motions. His attorney, Jennifer Bonjean, has done that. I believe she initiated the first motion in November, and I'm going to go over that. So what are the most 2 common motions, you guys? The most 2 common motions, according to Google, is number 1, motion for a new trial. So what does that say about motion for a new trial? What does Google say about this? What does motion for a new trial mean? This means, per Google, the court can vacate the judgment and allow for a new trial. This is rarely granted, but may be done if the interest of justice so requires. So Jennifer Bonjean, to my understanding, did file a motion for a new trial. Again, that's the post-trial motion. Post-trial motions are common, especially if an attorney is being paid to continue to advocate for their client after the conviction was set by a judge or jury. So, with that being said, Jennifer Bonjean, she's being paid by Mr. Kelly, yes, to file these motions to counter the conviction. So, motions is asking the court, asking the judge, hey, judge, I want this to be done because, and then you state your legal arguments and you state your statutes and all of that. So, again, she's trying to get everything reversed. So if these post-trial motions go through, if the judge agrees, then there's no need for an appeal. You get that? There's no need for an appeal. But if the post-trial motions do not go through and the judge denies them, and mind you, these post-trial motions are on the judge's desk. Jennifer Bonjean filed, I believe, two, and it's several arguments in both post-trial motions. Okay, let's go back to the post-trial motions. One post-trial motion that's common is motion for a new trial. The second one is motion for judgment of acquittal, meaning that she want this, according to Google, states court may set aside the jury's verdict and allow the defendant to go free. So the two most common post-trial motions, and to my understanding and knowledge, based off of research and review, this is what Jennifer Bonjean, R. Kelly's attorney, filed: two post-trial motions: motion for a new trial and motion for judgment of acquittal. And again, just to state, these are on the judge's desk. You know, the judge has to review these. I don't know, because R. Kelly's sentencing for the Chicago federal case, he's still in Illinois. The Chicago federal case, his sentencing is scheduled for February 23rd. To my understanding, and based off of my research and experience and background, judges can make decisions. This particular judge, and Judge Harry Leaning something. I can't totally, well, I don't want to mispronounce his last name, but I know his first name is Harry. So Judge Harry, who presided over the Chicago federal case, will be reviewing these post-trial motions. You know, and also, to my understanding, these post-trial motions can be used on appeal. So Judge Harry has these motions because they're filed. So he can make a decision on this at any time. When does judges make decisions on these post-trial motions? I don't know. Judges have discretion based off of my experience, what I've witnessed, um, and things of that nature in my field or whatever. Judges can, it's up to a judge. You know, they have a lot of discretion and an immense amount of power. So yeah, judges, I mean, the judge actually can make a decision on this prior to sentencing. So guys, pay attention. Again, sentencing is scheduled for February 23rd, 2023 for the Chicago federal charges. However, Jennifer Bonjean has filed these two post-trial motions and is preparing for an appeal as well. Okay, so we went over the most common two post-trial motions after a conviction. Um, so these two was filed by Jennifer Bonjean. And like I stated, hopefully a ruling is made soon. It may be made on day of sentencing. Judge Harry may come back and say, no, I'm denying this. And if he does, Jennifer Bonjean, I'm sure she has her appeal stacked and ready and loaded, you know. So, okay. According to an article written in Yahoo News, first post-trial motion was filed, I believe, like I stated, in November of 2022. And the judge name is Leaning Weber. Yeah. So R. Kelly's attorney, Jennifer Bonjean, asked Judge Leaning Weber, well, you know what, again, I'm going to call him Judge Harry, for a judgment of acquittal. Remember, that's a common post-trial motion. I just went over the two motions. So Jennifer Bonjean asked Judge Harry, for a motion of acquittal on all counts based on several technical factors. Remember, these motions, motion for new trial, motion for judgment of acquittal, when there's errors made, again, I went over what was a motion. Motion is impact. Motions are errors or misconducts by the prosecutors, the DA. If they err, again, it's, you have to color inside the lines. Go back to my previous videos when I kind of broke down what the responsibility and duty of a prosecutor. That's why you have to color inside the lines. When there's a narrative, you can't just invoke what you believe, and you have to follow the rules of law when you're prosecuting a case. These prosecutors are attorneys too, and they have a duty, and they made an oath as well. So again, this is upon someone's livelihood. I think I gave an example before in one of my previous videos. It's just like if someone robs a bank and it's on videotape, and say they didn't read the person their rights, the 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 defendant, or the perpetrator of the crime, they didn't read them their rights. That's a technical error that can, say they go into someone's home, the person who robbed the bank, to seize their computer without getting a warrant. That's an error. That is an error. You can't color outside the lines, so everything counts when you're prosecuting a case. You can't, you like in my Nene Leakes voice, you can't win playing dirty. You can't win. You have to have an ironclad case prosecuting someone. Even if you truly believe, and even if the person was caught red-handed, this is chess, not checkers. You can't color outside the lines and prosecute someone. That's just not how the law works. That's why it's a scale of justice, scale of balance. You have the lower courts, you have the appeal courts, you have the Supreme Court. So hey, so back to the article, the first post-trial motion for November 2022. And again, you can see this on Yahoo News, this article. So you can go onto that website. So yeah, attorney Jennifer Bonjean asks acquittal on all counts based on several technical factors, including that prosecutors had not proven that the infamous tape by Jane, and this is another issue or concern. In my opinion, Jane, I believe, to my understanding, it is alleged that this is the same Jane Doe from the case that Mr. Kelly, got acquitted of back in the early 2000s, on all charges. So how, in my mind, how are you gonna use it? It just makes no sense. And for those who are new to this channel, and I stated on another video, no, I did not uh, watch the R. Kelly's that documentary. No, I had no interest in doing that. I just thought all of this was a farce. It was giving um, a witch hunt. It was giving similarities to what Bill Cosby experienced in the court of law, in the court of law. So I had no interest in that. And this right here just confirms. And I didn't follow the trial as well, but I am noticing I may have to piggyback a bit on some of the points, or do some research on what happened in the trial in order to continue to report, or bring my commentary and my opinions on the appeal process, or any post-trial. I call it post-trial actions now, which is the motions filed by attorney Jennifer Bonjean. So it looks like, according to this article, and this is an excerpt in Yahoo News, that yeah, Jennifer Bonjean is asking for acquittal of all counts based on several technical factors. The videotape abusing Jane Doe, um, was it wasn't made for the purpose of producing child P. And again, I have to be careful, algorithm and all of that stuff. So that's one of the arguments, and these are arguments under this first motion. Um, and to add to this, attorney Bonjean also argued that she asked for a motion for a new trial based on allegations of misstatements by the government's first witness, Dr. Daryl Turner. He was the government's witness. He testified as an expert about the S predators grooming underage victims. So Dr. Daryl Turner is supposed to be this expert. Well, he is not supposed to be. He is an expert who was brought in to say, "Hey, I have a degree in this area, this field, and I am an expert at determining how underage people or individuals are groomed by older people." So he was the state's witness, and there were some misstatements. And I do believe that the state was supposed to be responding back in November. I'm not sure if they actually did. And let me dive more into the Yahoo article. And this is like the first post trial motion. Again, Jennifer Bonjean is challenging the tape. So she's challenging the tapes. That's her argument with the charges for that against the Child P tape, and also the statements made by the state's expert witness. He made misstatements on the stand, and let's get into his misstatements. It looks like Turner, Dr. Daryl Turner, testified that on the stand in the court of law, he billed prosecutors $250 an hour for his work on the case, when the actual figure was $450. Bonjean wrote, and again, this is an excerpt from Yahoo News article dated November 2022. Um, Dr. Turner also underrepresented how many hours he was paid for paid for, excuse me, and he also told the jury it was 2 hours when he actually billed it for 6 hours and a half. According to R. Kelly's attorney, Jennifer Bonjean, she said prosecutors knew about the misstatements but failed to correct them for the jury. So, again, that goes back to you can't win playing dirty. You have to color inside the lines. Okay, and we can say too, okay, well, the prosecutors made it, maybe they forgot or this and that. You can't do that. No, you have to correct anything that's wrong in front of the jury. You have a duty. Counsel, defense counsel, both have a duty to the court of law because they made an oath. You have to correct that. If it's something that a mistake, have truth, if it's a flat out lie, you have to correct that. Somebody is testifying. Everything counts when you're in a court of law and on trial. Okay. And so Jennifer Bonjean, R. Kelly's attorney, further states that had the jurors known that Dr. Turney actively misled them, the jurors would likely have rejected his testimony outright. Um, and to my understanding, I believe the prosecutors knew about the misstatements too. So these are fair arguments. And hopefully that the first and second motion, and I'm going to go over the second motion in a second video. So bear with me, you guys. Again, this is a re-recorded video. I do have the original uploaded into my phone, but yeah, this is, I had technical difficulties publishing it, and the audio is just not there, unfortunately. And so I'm trying to, and this one right here, hopefully it goes through properly. But yeah, there you have it. This is the first post-trial motion that was filed, I believe, back in November. And remember, there's a second post-trial motion that was really filed on February. That was not really, that was actually filed on February 4th. So I don't understand, you guys. I don't know. I don't know how I missed this. Did you all miss the second one that was filed on February 4th? Electronically? Yeah, it looks like it was filed electronically based on my research and review. It looks like it was filed electronically on February 4th. I have it here. Boom. I'm going to maximize the screen. February 4th, 2023. This is the second one. I'm going to go into the second motion filed that was filed on February 4th by Jennifer Bonjean. And again, hopefully these motions are granted by the judge. And if so, that's big, that's huge. But the second motion, I believe, in my opinion, it's a smoking gun. It's a smoking gun. Okay. Okay, you guys. So again, I'm going to go into that second motion that was just recently filed. I don't know if you all were sleeping, why this wasn't all over the news, but hey, that's why you're going to get it here on The Mix from your girl, Tiffany, your host, owner, and creator of this channel, about the R. Kelly news, updates, commentary, all of that. I thank you guys for tuning in to my channel. I hope you're getting this and understanding this. When it comes to the law, you guys, man, as a prosecutor, DA, they have a duty. They have a duty to follow the law. They have a duty, or everything could be, because it's like you're not representing justice fairly, even if somebody is caught red-handed, you're not representing the law fairly. You're not. So you can't color outside the lines. You have to color inside the lines. And that's for everyone who's within the legal community, whether it be judges, whether it be law enforcement. Yeah, you have to. prosecutors, defense attorneys. You have to color inside the lines. I do think that this is a strong post trial motion, but it's up to the judge. It's technically up to the judge. So I'm going to give you guys my opinion as to how do I think the judge may rule on these post trial motions. That will be actually in the second video as well, part 2. So I'm going to go over the smoking gun February 4th filed post trial motion, the second one that was filed, and I'm going to give you my reaction to that as well, and my commentary to that as well, and also what do I think or believe possibly how the judge may rule. Do I know how the judge may rule? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I kind of got an idea based on just all the research I've done on this and my experience being in certain spaces, legally or whatever. So, and I'm not an attorney, none of that, but I am a paralegal. Um, I I don't work for I haven't worked for like directly under an attorney or whatever, but I do have experience with that industry and speaking to attorneys, and also when I was in the paralegal program, which was an accredited program backed by the ABA, American Bar Association, and I graduated with a 4.0 grade point. I've just got to give you all a little bit, graduated honors. So, but yeah, those classes I took were facilitated by sitting judges and also active attorneys. So yeah, there you go. That's my background. So, and then just my career wise, I've been in this on the civil side of the law in terms of experience, and still dealing with possibly attorney, well, not possibly dealing with attorneys or engaging attorneys and this and that and judges and all of that. So yeah, there you go about me. But yeah, so again, be expecting my more commentary on these motions filed, and I will give you guys my opinion as to what do I believe may happen, and possibly believe how the judge will rule in these post-trial motions. Jennifer Bonjean, to me, this is light work based off of her experience. So even if the judge deny these motions, I believe her appeals brief is gonna be locked and loaded. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, y'all guys. I'm very fascinated about things like this, no matter what type of case it is, civil, criminal, whatever. I just, this is just my niche. I enjoy it. All areas, even intellectual property. I took one of those courses, trademark, copyright, all of that. I enjoyed it too. I don't know, but I've always had just been pretty passionate about this area, even politics and this and that, whatever. So nevertheless, thank you guys for tuning in to the mix. And why don't let's get the conversation going? Go into the comment section. What are your thoughts? Do you believe the judge will rule in on these post-trial motions in R. Kelly's favor? Um, or do you believe the judge will deny it? Again, I will give you my commentary on that or my response in the second one when I go over the second post-trial motion and the affidavit. So I'm going to dive into that. I'm not going to go over all of it, but I'm just going to go over snippets of it. And I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you for tuning in. Please share this, you guys, with everyone. Like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe. I am your host, Tiffany, owner, creator of The Mix. Thank you for listening to my commentary, my opinions on, and my reaction on the R. Kelly post-trial actions and appeals. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will definitely talk to you guys soon. Bye.